Types of worship that Allah has commanded. Types of worship that Allah has commanded are like Islam, Iman, faith, Ihsan, benevolence, Dua, supplication, Khawf, fear of Allah, Raja, hope in Allah, Tawakkul, reliance upon Allah, Raghba, aspiring to earn His pleasure, Rahba, awe of Him, Khushu, submission and humility, Khashya, apprehension, Inaba, turning to Him in repentance, Isti'ana, seeking His help, Isti'adha, seeking refuge with Him, Istighatha, seeking relief from Him, Dab, slaughtering, Nadr, making vows, and other acts of worship that Allah has commanded should be offered exclusively to Allah. The proof is the saying of Allah Almighty. The mosques are for Allah alone, so do not supplicate anyone along with Allah. Bani 1, Surat Al-Jinn. 18. Whoever dedicates any of such acts of worship to other than Allah, then he is a polytheist and disbeliever. The proof is the saying of Allah Almighty. Whoever supplicates another god besides Allah, for which he has no proof, his reckoning will be with his Lord. Indeed, the disbelievers will never succeed. Surat Al-Mu'minun 1-17. The Hadith states, supplication is the essence of worship. 3. The proof of khawf, fear, is the saying of Allah Almighty. Your Lord says, call upon me, I will respond to you. Those who are too proud to worship me will enter hell, utterly debased. Surat Ghafir 60. The proof of khawf, fear, is the saying of Allah Almighty. Do not fear them, but fear me if you are true believers. Surat Al-Imran 175. The proof of hope is the saying of Allah Almighty. So whoever hopes for the meeting with his Lord, let him do righteous deeds and associate none in the worship of his Lord. Surat Al-Kahf 110. The proof of reliance upon Allah is the saying of Allah Almighty. And put your trust in Allah if you are believers. Surat Al-Ma'idah 23. Whoever puts his trust in Allah, He is sufficient for him. Surat At-Talaq 3. The proof of Raghba, aspiration, Rahba, Awda'i, and Khoshu, submission, is the saying of Allah Almighty. They used to hasten in doing good deeds and used to call upon us with hope and fear, and they were humble before us. The proof of Khashya, apprehension, is the saying of Allah Almighty. So do not fear them, but fear me. Surat Al-Ma'idah 3. The proof of Inaba, returning to Allah in repentance, is the saying of Allah Almighty. Turn to your Lord in repentance and submit to Him. Surat Az-Zumar 54. The proof of Isti'ana, seeking help from Allah, is the saying of Allah Almighty. You alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help. Surat Al-Fatiha 5. And the hadith that states, were you to seek help from anyone, then seek Allah's help. The proof of isti'adah, seeking refuge with Allah, is the saying of Allah Almighty. Say, I seek refuge with the Lord of mankind, the Sovereign of mankind. The proof of istighatha, seeking relief from Allah, is the saying of Allah Almighty. Remember when you were seeking help of your Lord at Badr, and He responded to you. Surat Al-Anfal. Chantnin, the proof of dab, slaughtering, is the saying of Allah Almighty. Say, indeed, my prayer, my sacrifice, my living and my dying are all for Allah, Lord of the worlds. He has no partner. This is what I have been commanded, and I am the first to submit to Allah. Surat Al-An'am 102, 162, 163. The proof from the Sunnah. May Allah curse whoever slaughters a sacrifice for the sake of anyone other than Allah. The proof of making vows is the saying of Allah Almighty. They fulfill their vows and fear a day whose evil will spread far and wide. Surat Al-Insan 7.